Hi and welcome back. So in this video we're just going to take a look at PyCharm and how we can create a new project. Simply go to the Create New Project button and this will bring you over to this window where you can pick the type of project that you want. Now in the PyCharm Community Edition we can only pick pure Python. If you have the Professional Edition then you can pick a lot of different presets that will make your life slightly easier. But it's not really a big deal. And then you have to pick the location of your project and also the interpreter. Now, this interpreter is quite an interesting thing about Python. Other languages, some may have something like this, but many others will not. And the main difference between all of these is that some of them have this V at the bottom of the logo of the icon, and the others do not. The difference is that these four are what's called a virtual environment, and the others are not, and then some of these are also virtual environments. So what is a virtual environment? And a virtual environment essentially is a clean Python installation. You can think of it that way. That's pretty much what it is. When you install Python, it's a clean Python install. And then you can install on top of that a bunch of libraries and add-ons for Python so that you can do a number of different things. For example, be able to parse dates and times. That would be a library that you can install on your Python install, and then all the programs that you create in this system will be able to use that library and use that code. However, if you always use one system, one installation of Python, eventually as you install more and more of these libraries, you'll have hundreds of libraries installed. And then this can clog it up, and it can make it so that sometimes you have really old versions of libraries installed, and then you need new versions, which means you have to update them, but then some programs you wrote years ago no longer work with the newer versions and things like that. So it's a bit of a hassle if you have a lot of libraries installed and a lot of projects depending on the same Python installation. So the solution to that is virtual environments. A virtual environment is essentially an installation that comes from another Python install. So for example, these four virtual environments are all Python 3.4, but they're all used in different projects, and therefore one of them can have some libraries installed while the other one does not. And that helps separate the libraries that are needed for one project that are not needed for other projects. That's really all it is. And if we are to create our first application here, simply click on the small cog and then create virtual env. And then we can decide where we want to put it. In my case, I'm going to go to my documents and then click on programming here. And then I'm going to click on full stack for the course. And I'm going to choose that. And then it says that it already exists, so we'll put it in venv. So I'm going to create a virtual environment called venv that is in this directory here. And then you have to pick the interpreter that this comes from. So in this course we're using Python 3.4, so picking that would make sense. If you're using older versions of Python, then you can pick those. And then you do not want to check this necessarily. Okay, it doesn't really matter what you call your virtual environment. Normally it's called env or venv. That's the default name. And then press OK, and then that will create it for you. It only takes a couple of seconds. And when that's created, you've essentially installed Python again, but only for use in that folder, and then your project that we're about to create will be able to use that specific Python installation, that virtual environment, which means that it won't share any library installations with other Python installs and other virtual environments. Okay, so then go back to my document, programming, full stack, and then choose here. Create that, and that is my project now. So my project is in my Documents, Programming folder, Full Stack, and then a folder called SRC for source code of my project. And now we can start doing the Python programming that is essentially going to let us develop these more complex applications through PyCharm, now with a full-blown integrated development environment and IDE. So that's what we're going to be doing in the next video. So I'll see you there.